Good day, guys. Good day to you all. Welcome back to the Formula Sports channel. Thanks for being here. We're getting straight to the meat of the matter, Seeing some big emerging news coming by way of the JFF President Dalton Wint as it relates to the GenSec position. And this is an issue that many of us have been asking questions about for a long time. You see, that's them little things are why we can't really rate the JFF scene. I mean, this has been a saga that has been ongoing now for a couple of months, right? And the issue has been shrouded in so much secrecy and so much mystery. And the JFF wonder why, you know, there's such a great divide between them and the fan base, right? The JFF wonder, the JFF in media outlets saying that they want to rebuild the relationship with the fan base is you don't need the investment of corporate Jamaica. That's not the main issue at hand. Investment from corporate Jamaica to host friendlies. It's these little things why there is such a fractured relationship between the JFF and fans, such an important matter and shrouded in such secrecy and such mystery. Right? The JFF wonder why nobody not rate them. Seeing like them still a wonder why. Seeing and credit to them realizing there is an issue, but just the wrong solutions to the problem suggest that they don't have, they don't get it yet. But anyways, let's get to the article right now. See, the headline reads, and this is in the Gleaner by Daniel Wheeler. Seeing big up to Daniel Wheeler because his articles like this that really and journalism like this that is really very important. Expect new JFF GenSec in a matter of days. Seeing that's the headline. After 5 months without any real news about the status of Jamaica Football Federation, JFF General Secretary Dalton Wint, the saga may be reaching its endgame. Seeing the article is on screen for you guys to follow. JFF President Michael Ricketts disclosed that the position of General Secretary would be filled imminently, bringing an end to the tenure of a man who has signaled his intent to resign in June. We certainly hope that the individual that is going to replace Dalton Wint is at the very least 10 times more competent than his predecessor. 10 times competency would be sufficient enough to be able for that individual to be able to do a decent job in the position. That's how low the bar was, in my humble opinion. Wint's promise to resign came after the Reggae Boyz threatened to boycott a CONCACAF Nations League fixture against Suriname in that country because of uncertain travel arrangements. Those uncertainties resulted in the team's late arrival to Jamaica for the return leg encounter a few days later. We all remember that Suriname was in the island, a lot sooner than the Reggae Boyz would have returned home, right? And the boys were basically stranded in Suriname, right? They needed help from external forces to get them back home to play that Nations League game. If we had missed that Nations League game, the consequences for Jamaica's football would have been dire, to say the least. The punishment from FIFA, I don't even want to think about what would have happened, man. Anyways, let's continue. Ricketts was brief in addressing the situation, electing not to give further details on how the resignation process with Wint would be resolved, and saying he would need some time before he could address this matter. Now, we have heard this sort of thing from the president before. The president promises to address the matter when the time is right, and of course, he never usually does. Also, we're still waiting on the manifesto, President Ricketts. We're still waiting on the manifesto that you had promised to reveal when you were elected or after you were elected. Also, again, lack of transparency, right? Resignation process, being are taking place behind a veil of secrecy, so to speak. And you wonder why there is such a massive distance between the fan base, Mr. President and Mr. Raymond Anderson. There will be a new General Secretary in a few days, but I can't speak on that publicly yet. That is Ricketts being quoted by the Sunday Gleaner, right? That is what he told the Sunday Gleaner. Now, this is on the topic of compensation matters, right? Again, let me read that important part. There will be a new General Secretary in a few days, but I can't speak on that publicly yet. So that's the most important part of the article for sure. Compensation matters. While Wint had indicated that he would step down from the post, the matter of compensation is yet to be finalized. Anybody who is watching this video, hit me up in the comment section and let me know if you have the answer to this question. Why the hell does a man who has resigned needs to be compensated? I am not an expert, or I am not versed in the matters of employment law. See, I think is that you refer to it as our labor laws, right? If I'm not mistaken, that's the proper jargon. I'm not versed on these matters. I thought that is only when somebody is fired, right? They should be compensated in whatever manner the contract stipulates. The man resigned. No. If you have the answer to that particular issue, probably it has already been publicly stated and it just missed me or fly over my head. No. But if you have the answer to that, hit me up in the comment section and let me know, man, seriously, because it's something that is very confusing to me. In a Gleaner report in June, a special executive meeting was held in order to complete the process of Wint's resignation. However, Wint did not send an official letter as he was awaiting guarantees regarding his exit. So wait, a sticky must stick up the federation? No. Me not accuse him of that, but that's what it is looking like. The main obstacle is the demand to be paid his full salary up to the end of his contract in December 2023. Boy, me no know. This is very confusing. The Sunday Gleaner understands why there are efforts to agree to an amicable severance package for Wint. There is little room for a middle ground in the proceedings, with either resignation or termination the paths forward to resolve the issue. A source familiar with the situation said that whatever the final outcome of the negotiations, the JFF has to move forward with a new General Secretary. Does Dalton Wint care about Jamaica's football? Did Dalton Wint ever care about Jamaica's football? I am not accusing him of a stick-up, but this looks to me as if it is a stick-up. So, for me to go, you either have to pay me my full salary, or we negotiate, if not the full salary right through to the end of the contract, something close to it, enough for me to be happy with stepping aside, enough for me to feel comfortable. Or if you terminate my contract, you definitely have to go pay me the full amount right to the end of the contract. That's my understanding of how these things work. Hit me up in the comment section and let me know if I am lying and if I am dying. So this seems to me like is a stick up. Dog, you care about Jamaica's football and then you can't understand why people never rate you, brethren. You can't understand why people never rate you. A JFF that is already struggling from a financial standpoint, and this appears to me, in my humble opinion, that is a stick up. That's the only logical conclusion to arrive at. Everybody wants you to cut, everybody wants you to leave, and you say you're not leave until you either get a decent little food or you terminate my contract, which means say you definitely have to give me more than a decent little food. are already cash-strapped JFF. A JFF struggling from a financial standpoint. These are the people running Jamaica's football, you know. The man them not give a damn about Jamaica's football. The man them not care. If you were entitled to that financial compensation, then we can understand what is due to Caesar must go to Caesar. But you are really and truly not entitled to anything from my understanding of it. Unless something in your contract that states that you are, which would be baffling to me because that is not common practice from my little knowledge or my little understanding of these matters. Me no know. Guys, hit me up in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Knock up the like button, subscribe and share. Take care. Stay safe, guys. Again, hit me up in the comment section. Let me know what you think about this news that the JFF president is positive. Stay safe, guys.